Me presento, soy Mario Vitale, presidente y cofundador de AME. Esta es una organización que se cofundó con Carla Silva, que la van a conocer al final de este seminario, que es la que va a cerrar el seminario. AME significa Alianza Multicultural de Empresarios. I just realized that I'm talking Spanish. My apologies. I'm president of AME, Alliance of Multicultural Entrepreneurs. I am the president and co-founder. This organization was co-founded with Carla Silva, who you're going to meet at the end of this seminar. AME is a networking organization. It's a multicultural organization where we normally we gather periodically once a month or something like that in a number of people from the business community, entrepreneurs, executives, corporate entities, because of the current situation that we're undergoing right now with the corona virus. We were forced to abandon or at very least postpone our events, and as a result, we're doing this webinar, which is our first webinar, and I hope it won't be the last. We're very excited that we're co-producing this event with Sal. Sal, you're going to meet also towards the end of this seminar. His name is Sal Ayala, and he's the CEO of Unico Business Solutions. We have a very, very exciting panel. So let's jump right into it. So this seminar is being moderated by Sarah Mijares. Some of you have known Sarah. She's a very well-known and established figure in their community in Southern California, actually in the world and several other planets. She's the founder of the Maya Foundation, and she's held this. And one of her latest ventures is the creation that makes her the publisher of LA Angelina magazine, which you see on the screen right now. So I recommend that you take notes, because it's a wonderful, wonderful magazine. I come from the publishing business, so I know what I'm talking about. So without further ado, Sarita, take it away.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody. What a wonderful day. We're inside, yes, but it's a wonderful, wonderful day. And you know, and as Mahatma Gandhi said, we are the change that we want to see in this world. We as people, as collective people, are the world. Anyway, this is some of the work that I've been done. You know, I've been a consultant at a binational level, done projects with Mexico. In the photo, you can see the Mexican Secretary of Tourism. One of my most value projects that I did was the Mexico Food Fair at the LA Convention Center in 2013, 2014. And this was, our client was Zagarpa from the federal government of Mexico, along with Ovation, a company in Mexico that contacted me and contracted me to coordinate this beautiful project that was $1 million project. And so I was very proud to work on that. We brought in about 100 Mexican food producers at the LA Convention Center. And that was wonderful. I've been recipient of several awards as well, and Mujeres Destacadas de la Opinión, along with Verónica Corona in 2013. I've been a Mexicana Destacada by Programa Paisano with the Mexican Consulate of Los Angeles, and Business Award with the National Latina Business Women Association, and many other things. But it is really a true pleasure to be today moderating this panel. And it's my first virtual work or contributing as a moderator. So if you have something good to say, put it in the notes, send it to us. If you have a different thing to say, send it inbox. If you want to hire me, I'm up for grab. No. Anyway, it's a wonderful program and we're going to bring you what makes the panelists different right now that we're presenting today. During the COVID-19, how to create new opportunities. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about trade opportunities, industry opportunities, government program opportunities, marketing opportunities. Yes, there's still opportunities out there. We just have to be creative. And thank you, Sal Ayala, Unico Business, for putting this together with Ame, with Angelina News, with Mundo Maya, and our panelists. Thank you, Carla, for being the spirit, the drive that brought us all together, the catalyst that brought us all together. And so with that, then I would like to present to you our first presenter, which is Marlene Marroquin. Marlene Marroquin is the Executive Regional Director of the U.S.-Mexico Chamber of Commerce. Marlene has been recognized as Ambassador of Business between U.S. and Mexico and has been a highly respected community leader among the Hispanic business community in Los Angeles and in Mexico and China as well, and other countries. She's sought by international businesses pursuing relations between Mexico and U.S. for her strong connections to governmental and private sectors and her ability to connect international businesses. I could speak an hour about the wonderful person and professional that Marlene is. She's worked in 2003, she worked for Deloitte & Touche Consulting Groups with re-engineering process for companies. She also worked with United Nations Human Development Report in New York in 96, and Cinépolis, the largest movie theater company in Mexico. She was the manager for new projects in 91. She's a member of UCLA Extension Advisory Board for the International Trade and Commerce Certificate Program, chairman of the board of the Mexican Professional Network, former advisor of Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa for the Office of International Trade Office, board of directors for Hispanics LA Opera, and creator of the Golden Triangle Initiative to promote bilateral trade between Mexico, US, and China, resulting in many new business ventures. Among her career highlights, she received an award from the Consul General of Mexico, Rubén Beltrán, in 2002. She has been selected as one of the Latina successful women for the Baja Traveler magazine in 2011. She has been interviewed in radio, television as business opportunities between two nations, I would say more than two. Weekly radio show at W in Cross Border International. Award from Women in International Trade as the International Trade Catalyst, and I could go on and on and on. She's a graduate of Harvard University, Cambridge, Massachusetts, completed courses for the Certificate in Special Studies in Administration and Management, and Universidad Anáhuac del Norte, Mexico City. And I am proud to introduce you the Ambassador of International Business, Marlene Marroquin.
Thank you very much, Sarita. Thank you all. It is a pleasure to see my very old friends, and I don't mean old in age, I mean old in years that we have known each other. We're still all very young. And it's true, it's a great opportunity, and I'm so happy that AME is back in business. We're here to support Mario, Carla, Sarita, Sal, Veronica, and all the team that are here with us. And I'm very happy and humbled to be presenting some of the things that we do a little bit at the chamber and the things that we experience day to day with the current situation that we're living. And to begin my presentation, I would like to talk a little bit about the pandemics that are happening in the world, because that's something important and relevant to understand what is going on in the world today, but what happened to the world many, many generations ago, and once again is repeating, and it will be repeating again. So something to be very aware of and very prepared. So next, please. I'm going to start talking about the history of the pandemics, as I said, and the next slide about the leprosy. In the 11th century, we had the leprosy that a lot of people, of course, we know about that very devastating illness that killed a lot of people, causing deformities in the body. Is still, in some cases in India, there's a lot of cases still with leprosy. Then we have in 1350 the Black Death or the Peste Negra, that it was the second large outbreak of the bubonic plague, possibly started in Asia and moved in caravans, starting going through Europe, England, and France, that incapacitated financially many of these countries, something that we're looking again. The British system collapsed, and it really did a lot of repercussions that people got through that. Then in 1492, we got the colonization of into America, la colonización española, where the Spanish came to the Caribbean. They brought some smallpox, measles, and the bubonic plague were passed along for the native population by the Europeans. So the Indians and the Aztecs were infected. A lot of people were killed. It weakened the population of the Americas, starting, of course, by the Caribbean, going through Mexico, et cetera, like that. So the Aztec Empire was destroyed, and it was a lot of the farmers were unable to produce the needed crops, something that we see again today, right? The next, please, slide. We'll talk about the third plague pandemic that started again, once again, we see in China, moving to India, to Hong Kong. Devastated 15 million people died, and it was another terrible plague. Then we got the Russian flu in 1889, started in Siberia and Kazakhstan, traveled to Moscow, went all the way to the northern part of Europe, and then ended up in North America and Africa. So 360,000 people died by then. Then we had the Spanish flu, and a lot of people thought that the Spanish flu started in Spain. It was not the case. It's just, they call it the gripe española or the Spanish flu because the Spanish people were the only ones that were announcing about this plague. They were the ones out of the war, of the First World War. So they were the ones that were communicating to the world about this gripe española or Spanish flu that started in the United States, infecting a lot of people in the world. It went from the United States to Asia, with a lot of the soldiers that were in that. And so it's also that devastating the gripe española. Next, we had the Great Depression. If you can move to the next slide, please. The Great Depression from 28 to 33, we all heard about it. It is, a lot of people were going through a lot of depressions after the First World War. So the United States, it was booming. It was one of the top economies by then. So they would start selling the freedom bonus, or bonos de la libertad, as they call them in Spanish. And these where people were buying kind of like, stocks from different countries. One example was the Montgomery Ward Electric, General Electric, where they were selling their homes or were selling their cars to buy those bonus. And at the end, of course, it collapsed. A lot of people lost their jobs, their homes, their companies, and they were, millionaires for a few seconds. Unfortunately, the Great Depression, it lasted a long time and impacted the economy of the United States tremendously. And then, of course, it affected other countries around the globe. And then another one that we heard, and I remember this when I was a kid, that the HIV/AIDS, that a lot of people were very scared that it was going to be infected if you almost got close to somebody, and then they, of course, they had more information about it. But this one started, they said, started through in Africa, in West Africa, by a chimpanzee. It was brought to the United States. 35 million people worldwide died, and there's still, have some vaccinations, but still people can live with AIDS, but still not eradicated. And then we have the very famous SARS, the severe acute respiratory syndrome, very similar to the coronavirus, that really affects the respiratory system. And this one, they believe, also started with the bats. They spread to the cats, and then from the cats to the humans. Started in China. It also collapsed the Chinese economy. They had 8,096 people with 7,700 deaths, a very small comparison to today's numbers for the COVID-19, but it's still something that we remember. We lived through this, and we remember, and we heard in the news that it was just terrible. Then after that, we have several pandemics such as the H1N1 that originated in Mexico, and then Ebola in Africa, and the Zika that we heard about, the collapsation of the brain, and many pregnant women were afraid of that. Next, please. And then we have the one that we remember currently and still living a little bit of the repercussions of that. It's the Great Recession of the real estate market in 2008, where the Lehman Brothers declared bankruptcy because President Bush announced that every American should be able to have a home, and that so a lot of more than 8,000 banks and the lenders went from a 6% interest rate to 1% interest rate. So everyone was buying a house, even if they could not afford it, if they were not, they didn't have a job or they didn't have a down payment. And of course, we saw that a lot of people lost their homes because they were no longer able to pay their homes, and the prices of the houses went up very quickly. And then the house was worth more than what they really had to pay. So it was a very devastating thing on the economy, and added to the the boom of the dot-coms in 2000, and also later on the terrorist attacks at the Twin Towers that we had. Next. So with that, I like to say that there has been a lot of pandemics around the world. We need to be aware that possibly and most likely this will not be the last pandemic that we will be experiencing over the course of our lives or our children's lives. And this is why my next topic is related to that. So how the companies, small and medium-sized companies, what do they need to do in order to stay alive? And what do we need to do to change our shift or our way of thinking and the way we do business in the future? So there's 13 points that I would like to talk about. The first one is maximize your extra time. We all have more time. In some cases, we're busier. In my particular case, I'm busier than before. But many of us a little more time in a way because we're also saving the traveling time that we used to do to our jobs. So try to use this extra time to analyze your company's mission, your finances, your clients, in the overall services that you're providing. I mean, are you giving really a benefit to your clients? Is this company working well? Especially your finances. You have to really sit down, look at your numbers. The second one, if you have to defer capital expenditures, think about different options. For example, instead of spending money on a new computer, fix the old one that you have. Instead of buying new furniture for your office, try to use the existing one. So in other words, learn to prioritize your expenses. Try to save money as much as you can because you don't know what might happen or what are your chances of experiencing something worse in the future. The next one will be find leads and customers ahead of time. So right now, if you have some extra time, look for the contacts that you have among your Rolodex. Look at the companies that are there that give them a call, tell them what you're doing, tell them that you're still in business, create this very strong bond with those new companies or new leads that they will help you in the future when these things, when we are able to go back to our normal life. The next one, please. Will be adapt your services to the current situation. Staying at home in some cases may serious disruption to your business. So if you were doing business B2B, try to get creative and use some of the technology to be able to have your same B2Bs, but with your computer like we're doing right now. Be creative, try to do different things, innovate, do your research. I mean, do a lot of thinking, like for example, the restaurants and cafes. Those are ones that are surviving right now. Are those the ones that are creating new alternatives for their clients, like delivering at home, discounts, monthly subscriptions? So think about those options that will be very important for your company. And this one, for example, the next one, I think, in my opinion, is the most important opportunity that you need to be looking into. The e-commerce development in your company, change the mindset to implement new ways to distribute your products via e-commerce. Researching the best options for your company even after COVID-19. E-commerce is a new alternative for current and future businesses. Why e-commerce? Because I think when we go back to our normal way of doing business, companies are going to be doing things differently. A lot of companies are going to be working more from home. A lot of people are going to use more the technologies that we're using right now. If you see right now the statistics of the companies that are surviving, are those ones that are utilizing the e-commerce. For example, Amazon or all those companies that are bringing packages to your house. I see it all the time. My kids are ordering things online. We order things online. So if your company is not doing e-commerce, think about doing e-commerce for the future. There is a lot of options out there. Do your homework, do your research, compare prices, compare something that will not interrupt your supply chain. Also, if you're already doing e-commerce, think about those companies that are the best options to avoid the interruption of your supply chain. The next, please. Market your solution with coronavirus in mind. Not that you need to be negative about things and to be thinking about the worst things, but think about if this happens again, what are my options? Do I have cash flow? Am I saving for this money? Are my employees well taken care of? Do they have health programs, health services? Make sure also your target audience knows that you're still open. Let them know that you're still in business. This is something that we've been doing at the Chamber. We've been conducting every week. We have webinars with very high level, members. I've been calling our members one-to-one and let them know that we're still working. What do they need? If they need to promote their services, we send our newsletters with the products that they want to advertise. So just trying to help be constant and be present. The next one will be ensure your services or products will still be relevant at later phases. Look at the model of your business. I mean, are you doing something that really is going to be relevant? People are going to cut expenses. If you're selling a product that maybe is not so relevant, and I don't mean to give any example because I don't want to, offend anybody, but there's some products that I think they're going to disappear. People are not going to buy certain things the way we were buying them before. I think we're going to focus more on buying things that we really need. Like, for example, right now in many of the households, the money that we're spending are in food, right? Maybe we're not buying a new chair or we're not buying a new dress or something like that. We are, and I think this is going to change the mindset of the people on trying to be more mindful of the expenses. So the next one, please. So establish a disaster relief plan. With your strategy and obligation, if someone tests positive, what are you going to do? Are you going to call? You have to call the health department, let them know that your facility, there is somebody infected. You need to take some time, shut down your facility maybe because some of your employees were infected. Think about those scenarios. What if somebody gets sick? What if I have to shut down my company? What if this happens and I have to send everybody home and my production is going to be interrupted? Also, think about options where you can manufacture your products, and we're going to look into that later. But think about new places where you can manufacture your products, other markets, other countries, etc. So another thing is maximize your time. Have better meetings. I don't know if you have experienced this, but there's so many webinars that everybody's conducting. You also have to be selective of those webinars that you attend. The content of the webinars that I'm going to see, is it relevant for my business? Is it going to give me something positive? Is it going to help me bring more clients? Or in some cases, you just want to hear the webinars because they are some topics that are going to be very useful for you. So do them. Otherwise, try to maximize your time and your content. Don't waste your time. Time is very valuable right now more than ever, and you need to really use it properly. The next, please. Review your supply chain, identify broken links. This is a very, very interesting topic. We organized a seminar about supply chain. A lot of the companies have been affected by the supply chain because in many cases, the supply chain or the products came from China. You know, China produces, I'm not exactly how a percentage, but I would say maybe 80% of the products of the world were made or are made still in China. So let's say they had 500 containers coming, or per day or per week. Now they have maybe 100. So those of your products that you're selling to your customers are not being delivered on time because there is a big delay on the supply chain. So you need to think about other options with your supply chain. Identify the broken links. Identify what are the bottlenecks that are breaking your distribution. What are your other choices? Look for other choices for your supply chain. Look for other more reliable and cheaper ways to bring your product. If you're manufacturing in China, Japan, Korea, Vietnam, maybe think about manufacturing in Mexico. Maybe think about manufacturing in Canada, maybe the United States, maybe South America, because it will definitely be faster to get your products here. Identify the challenges of your business. List the challenges of your business right now. What are you facing? Strategize the different scenarios and take every possibility into account. Consider everything from disruption of supply chain to difficulties in communication, generic customers and competition with other business in your market. Plan for every conceivable scenario, including the worst that you can imagine. Once again, it's not that you're trying to be negative, but think about the worst. If you think about the worst, I guarantee you're going to be successful. Plan solutions with several scenarios. Are you ready for the next crisis? The next one, please. Implement tech upgrades to keep communicating flow. So use the technology right now. Change the way you were doing your old business. Use the comms, the Google Docs for collaborative documents, share information among your team, talk to your team every day, have your meetings like this, use the technology. And I will finish my opportunities information saying that it will not be business as usual. Things will change once this crisis is over. We will all see that. And my next slide. Next, please. I will say, is manufacturing in Mexico a better option versus China, and why? And I'm going to just give a very, very fast points. First of all, in many cases, it's same or lower cost than manufacturing in China. If you add the transportation, if you add all the delays, etc., etc. Is the proximity to the largest market in the world, meaning the United States, Canada, also Mexico, because you can also sell your products in Mexico. Mexico's a big country, we know. We have 120 million people. And Latin America, it's a very important market that we should not forget. Geopolitical risks that we see, that we're not going to get into political things, but we see what's happening right now in the world. There's highly educated employees and managers in Mexico. They're bilingual or trilingual. Most of the people speak English, which makes it very, very easy versus in other manufacturing plants around the world. And the supply chain benefits and the cost, taking a long time to receive products from China, as we talked about it, this disrupts your clients and think about future pandemics that may happen. So with that, I will finish my my remarks. Thank you very much to you all.
Marlene, thank you so very much. I mean, I'm telling you, you're getting it from the Ambassador of International Business. And I know when Marlene said that she's calling all her members, I know because I received twice a phone call from Marlene. I am a member of the U.S. Mexico's Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and it was good when she called and say, "How are you doing? What can we do for you?" And that's what it's called. That's what we call service. So Marlene, thank you so very much. And if any of the viewers have any questions, please send it, and then we'll have a question and answer at the end of the program. And with that, I am going to introduce, Veronica Corona. And Veronica Corona, sorry, they just changed my site. Veronica Corona, who doesn't know Veronica Corona in Los Angeles, and around LA and everywhere. Veronica Corona is an entrepreneur, community leader, and best-selling author right here in Southern California. And her business is keeping it clean while you sleep. And that sounds wonderful, you know. It's the motto of the company. CM Cleaning Solutions, a world-class award-winning janitorial services firm headquartered in Los Angeles. Prior to starting CM Cleaning Solutions, she managed a janitorial company in Los Angeles where she achieved over 1 million in sales for 2 consecutive years. She later went to work for another company where a customer encouraged her to start her own business. And in 2009, she and her business partner did just that. With a lot of hard work, the two have grown the company to a $2 million business in less than 5 years. And guess what? One of the hottest business thriving, unfortunately. Not unfortunately that they're thriving during the COVID-19 is precisely the cleaning companies. You know, she's an 18-year veteran in the commercial janitorial service industry. She attributes her drive and dedication to her parents who immigrated from Mexico and instilled a strong work ethic in Veronica and her 3 siblings. Veronica has been recognized as by the California Hispanic Chamber of Commerce as a rising star in 2015, Mujer Destacada by La Opinión in 2013, Small Business Award by the Los Angeles Latino Chamber of Commerce. Veronica is an active influencer in her community and serves in many boards. She's the California Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Southern California Region Chair, National Latinas Business Women Association Advisory Board, member of the City of Los Angeles Workforce Development Area, and Toastmasters International District 52. She's also past president of the National Latina Business Women Association. Graduated from Cal State Northridge with a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Management and emphasis in accounting. Her passion is to make a difference in others' lives and journey to success. She believes that as leaders, we're all changers. Veronica is not managing day-to-day operations. When she's not managing day-to-day operations with the CM Cleaning Solutions, she's outside in the community. And nowadays, of course, we have to be careful, but you know what? She rolls up her sleeves and goes and work with her crew, and we'll always see her in the community. So without, I introduce you to Veronica Corona.
Gracias, Sara. Thank you for that introduction. And I want to thank Mario Vitale for bringing us together with the Alliance of Multicultural Entrepreneurs. And I'm honored to be part of this panel with all these amazing panelists. So I want to talk a little bit about, obviously, the cleaning industry, because that's exactly what I do for a living. And yes, it is thriving. It's been so busy, but as much as it's been thriving, there's also been a bit of a shift because we've had to lay off a few people. And our motto is we keep it clean while you sleep. But right now we've been saying we keep it clean while you're in quarantine because our employees are in the front lines and they are keeping it clean. But it's been an interesting shift on what's going on and what's seen, because I always say that the one service that goes unnoticed until it's not done is cleaning. Because I'll tell you, if we miss one trash can, I'll get like a 5-email trail that we forgot to take out a trash can. But we take out thousands of trash cans every night and not one email saying, thank you for taking out the one trash can. So it's a very underserved, or maybe not everybody appreciates the cleaning. But I'm going to tell you one thing, now more than ever, everybody's going to appreciate the cleaning. Every single person. The norm cleaning that we know it as we know it today is going to change once we go back to our new normal and whatever that new normal is going to look like. So I wanted to talk about, reorganizing your business and creating new opportunities. So one of the things I've been able to work, because I'm not out on the field all day, and it's really fascinating to see how productive I've been without being in traffic. I've been reorganizing my business plan and see where I want to be. And I'm seeing that there's a lot of opportunities because I've been receiving a lot of calls. Everybody wants to have, currently, right now, everybody needs their office cleaned before they go back to work. And now, we're phasing in. Both our governor of California and our mayor of Los Angeles are talking about phase-ins. So we're going to be phasing in to go back to work. And there's a lot of money to be made in that. And I'm going to tell you where that comes in as far as strategic partnerships. I invited a friend on the call who also owns a cleaning company. And her and I were texting this morning because I know that she can do a work that I can't do. And that's where the strategic partnerships come in, right? I have customers that are asking me for a special cleaning, the COVID, they're calling it COVID. And as you know, I'd rather refer to it as COVID for obviously reasons, because I don't like my last name being tortured right now, but that's another story. And so COVID-19, everybody wants the COVID cleaning. And all of you know a business that needs cleaning. And even if they don't need the COVID cleaning, they don't need to disinfect. Everybody wants to come back to work to a clean office. And that's where an opportunity come to all of you. All of you know somebody that owns a business. And all of you know somebody that's going to be needing that business, that office, that building clean before they go back to work. So we create an opportunity for a company like mine, like other companies or other people that might be on the line that have a cleaning business. You know, I know, and I can't speak for everybody, but I know that if I get a referral that leads to a contract, I'd be happy to pay you a commission. So that's a strategic partnership where you can make money, and all you had to do was connect me to somebody. Because at the end of the day, you know, and this goes for anything we do in life as far as business is concerned, people will do business with people they know. You know, so if you refer me, they're going to do business because you referred me. And so just keep that in mind, that that's an opportunity for you, that you can make some money on the side, especially for those of you who may your business may have come to a halt. But think about how you can help other businesses and make money in return, because we all want to work together and we all want to be able to help each other. So there's a way of creating new opportunities. You know, Marlene had an amazing presentation about, you know, going e-commerce and doing this thing. Unfortunately, if I send you instructions on how to clean your office, you're not going to pay me for that. So we still have to go clean it. So I can't go e-commerce yet. And I don't know if there's a way, but, you know, I did read a meme that said our housekeeper sent us instructions on how to clean our house and send us an invoice for that. I'm like, I want to do that. That would be fascinating if I could do that. But for the meantime, I have to send somebody to clean the office. But there's an opportunity for you to consider. There's a lot of other opportunities. You know, Marlene had a very good point, and I was thinking about that, because each time our equipment breaks down, we go get a repair. I don't buy a new vacuum when sometimes it's just something minimal that I could pay very minimal money to repair. And I think that's going to change. So I was talking to a friend that is going to open up what did he call it? He called it a small appliance repair shop. He wants to start repairing small appliances. So there's a lot of opportunity out there, because personally, if my hair dryer breaks down, I'm going to think twice before spending another $100 on the hair dryer, because that's what my hair dryer costs. I'd rather have it repaired. So think of those opportunities. And I don't want to divert from the cleaning, because there's a lot of opportunities in cleaning. And I'm not saying go open up a cleaning business. Let us, who are already in the industry, take care of it. And how can you take advantage of that? By referring us business, because everybody's going to need cleaning done. So keep those things in mind and get creative. Look into your business. You know, I have a friend of mine who is a liquor distributor, particularly tequila. And guess what she's doing? They're selling hand sanitizer, because guess what? Don't you need alcohol for the hand sanitizer? So guess what? Some of the alcohol companies are getting into the hand sanitizer. So think of all the opportunities that are out there. I spoke with somebody else who is in the finance world, but he had an opportunity. And they're looking into getting into the protective equipment, of selling protective equipment, selling masks. And I'm not talking the little masks that that are very good quality masks that we all need. Personally, I need one. We were talking about that. I want a good quality mask that I can, face protection that I can give my employees, because they have to wear it all day. You know, we're bothered by putting on the mask for maybe to go to the supermarket or go to run an errand. Like I personally, this week had to go to 3 buildings and I had to wear my mask, and I couldn't wait to take it off. And for a moment there, I thought, wow, my employees are wearing this mask all day. How do they feel? So that made me think I need to really look into who's selling a good mask that could be worn all day, and it's not going to bother them in their face, because they have to breathe through this. It's something that maybe is washable, because we also need to look out for our environment. And you know, we don't want to be throwing away all these masks. Another opportunity. Come on, somebody create some gloves. I'm trying to think, you know, gloves that we can wash and reuse and that won't get infected, because think of all the gloves that I'm throwing away with all the plastic gloves that we have to buy. So keep those things in mind about creating strategic partnerships. You know, I don't want to go too much into it. Marlene had a great presentation on that. So look at your business. This is a good opportunity for you to reorganize your business, reorganize yourself. Do you need an office? Can you work at a home? Because I also feel that we make, as far as when I'm talking about in the clean industry, we make it effective. Because I have a feeling more and more people will start working out of home more. More and more people are going to be doing these Zoom meetings. And, I'll tell you, I've been communicating more with my customers now more than ever because they're all working out of home. Nobody's really going into the office. And that makes me think, what's going to happen? Are some of these offices going to start to close? Because if they start closing, that might affect our business. So we have to really be smart about it right now and see where we can make money to start holding on to that money to be ready for any changes that may come in the clean industry. Because you have to also look at the changes around in your industry. For me, I'm looking at the changes that are going to happen with buildings. What if somebody decides to close their office and work at a home? How's that going to affect me? I may lose that contract. So we need to look at all that and be open to other possibilities when it comes into the industry. So right now, I'm focusing on acquiring contracts that need the one-time initial cleaning. This week has been exceptionally busy because all of a sudden everybody has a cleaning request. Just this week, I received 3 calls that want the COVID cleaning. And what the COVID is you come in there all covered up and has to disinfect the offices. And that's to disinfect it to make sure there's no viruses. And I'm going to tell you, even for us in the clean industry, I've gone through the Ebola, I've gone through the swine, Marlene has touched on the SARS. And I remember it was very like, oh, just make sure all the handles are wiped and make sure this is wiped. And it was just very minimal. They wanted to show that they were making an effort. But for this COVID-19, I really feel that we all got scared. And that's where I'm going to go into the cleaning tips and disinfecting. Everything starts with you. Be mindful of when you're going to a public area and that you touch everything. When you touch the door, when you're going down the escalator, you're holding on to the handles, the black handles. Have you ever really seen anybody cleaning those? They do get clean, but they probably get clean once or twice a day, in the morning and at night. So be mindful of what you're touching, because unfortunately, I just realized I touched my face, and sometimes we're touching things and then we go and touch our face or go touch other things. So be mindful. You will have to carry your hand sanitizer. Anybody that knows me and's been in my car always knows I carry hand sanitizer and wipes all the time. Because I'm out in the field, I'm out checking buildings. So the hygiene is going to start with you washing your hands. The 20-second washing your hands. It's interesting to think that we are being taught how to wash our hands. Shouldn't we already be doing that a bit? That's kind of a little scary for me because I wash my hands I don't know how many times a day. So it's just kind of interesting to see that now we're being taught to wash our hands. So keep that in mind. Hygiene is going to start with you, even in your offices. Everybody, all our customers are like, what are we going to do to make sure that we are cleaning everything? Well, we can tell them everything we do, but not everybody wants to pay. Everybody wants to continue paying for the price of the car wash, but they want the car detail. So it's happening the same in my industry. Everybody wants to pay. Everybody wants us to have all these services, but they don't really want to pay for it. So we have to balance it out. And I tell them, starts cleaning. For all of you who have an office, own a business and have an office, make sure that everybody cleans after themselves. Make sure they're wiping their own desk, because many times we can wipe your desk. It's full of items and we're not allowed to move items off the desk. So keep those things in mind and just be very mindful of what you're touching, and for your safety and the safety of those around you. So I encourage you to look into your business plan, look into see how you can create new strategic partnerships with other people where you can grow together. Any of you have a referral for me, I'd be happy to pay your commission. And that'll help us both grow, helps my business grows and helps you grow, make some money on the side. And you don't have to know about cleaning to give me a referral or give anybody a referral. It doesn't have to be in the clean industry. It could be any industries. All of us here are business owners. All of us on the panel are business owners, or we're involved in some kind of business. I sit on the board for the California Hispanic Chambers of Commerce, and our goal is to support other businesses, just like Marlene, just like Claudia, just like Sara, Carla, Sal, Mario. We all want to support small businesses. So if you have a referral for anybody or any of us, we'd be happy to refer to you as well. So keep those things in mind. And I remember, wash your hands, don't touch your face, and be mindful of what you touch. And that's all that I have for you this afternoon. Thank you. Thank you, Mario, once again. And thank you, Sara.
Well, thank you so much, Veronica. That it's amazing what you do and how you're finding the different opportunities to connect and link and grow as a business. And you're absolutely right. Most of us as parents teach our kids, or they taught us as kids to wash your hands after you go to the bathroom and everything. And we just let things slide, but in times like this, then, it's really when we really need to up our game and really exercise our cleanliness, you know. And with that, we're going to welcome our new, thank you, Veronica. We're going to welcome our next presenter, that is Claudia Shah. She's a lead business advisor with Los Angeles Small Business Development Center, mainly known as SBDC. Claudia has over 26 years of experience working locally and internationally in different industries, from manufacturing to financial institutions in both Colombia and the United States. Her experience has made her a seasoned professional. She has experienced the varying dynamics of different companies and been firsthand their leadership and management preferences. Additionally, Claudia has experience in relating to one of the most important aspects of any business, the individuals in leadership and management positions, and how to work with them in transferring that leadership direction throughout the rest of the organization. She has held different positions in her career, like administrative and finance director, VP of human resources, and now as a business coach. Claudia is working with the lead center SBDC, Small Business Development Center in California, and she is the leading Hispanic community in LA County. For this, she has been nominated twice in 2016 and 2019 with the National Latina Businesswomen Association LA for the Inspirational Leader Award. I think Veronica, Claudia, now we can start the club with that, right? Anyway, her professionalism, experience, and knowledge are structural elements that can help entrepreneurs and small businesses succeed and pay attention. So with it here is Claudia Shah to talk about government opportunities. Adelante, Claudia.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sara. Thank you so much, everybody. Carla, for the invite, and the panelists here. Thank you so much. We are all struggling. I know we are all in this hard times, and each one of us brings something to the table for you. So I know we already heard Marlene and Veronica with a lot of tips, and that's things that we do at the SBDC. So let's see the slides, please. Let's go to the other one. I'm going to talk about it there on the other one. So what is what we do? Let's go to another one. And I'll give you my information later on. This is my team. This is the SBDC. So what we do at the SBDC, the greatest thing that we do is that we offer free advising, free webinars, free workshops to anybody who wants to attend and owns a business. The team is Marta Castro, Maria Chacon, and myself. And the link that you see there is to just request our services. We do need an application, but everything is for free because we are paid by the government. We are paid by the SBA with our tax money. So if you want your tax money to be worth, part of the things that you should use is resources like ours that they're putting out there to help you with your business. Next slide, please. So what do? We have 9 locations in the LA County, Ventura, and Santa Barbara, but the SBDC is all over the United States. So if you are in Orange County, there are SBDCs also over there. I'm going to focus on what we do here in the LA County, Ventura, and Santa Barbara. The one that I lead is the East LA office, and we specialize in Latinos and Spanish-speaking community in the whole LA County. We are located in East LA, but we do the whole LA County. And next slide, please. What we do at the SBDCs in all levels is that we help you with your business startups, license permits, government contracting, access to capital, business plan, import, export, whatever you need for your business. At this time of all the problems that we're seeing with the small business owners and with all this access to capital, meaning the PPPs and the IDLs that I know a lot of the business owners are already familiarized with, we help you find those resources, knowing how to apply, knowing what to do with that money, planning for that. Like Marlene was saying at the end of her presentation, planning to go back into business, how things are going to work for you, how you're going to be able to plan for your money, because this is all debts that you're acquiring. Some of them will be free money, but some of them won't. So that's what we do at the SBDC. We will sit with you one-on-one right now virtually, but we will do it one-on-one over the phone, via Zoom, whatever it is, and we will talk to you about the business. What is your business right now? How we can transition your business into this new type of work, how you can also take advantage of the electronics, internet, and all these good things that are happening, how you can have a presence online if you don't have it, how can you accommodate your business to have a curbside if you haven't done that, things like that. So that's what we will help you with, try to think. Next slide, please. The things that we do is through the workshops. So we have a lot of workshops. You can be a client of only one center, but you can go workshops wherever you want. The majority of the workshops that I offer at the SBDC East LA are in Spanish, but we also do some in English. The other SBDCs do everything in English. We have QuickBooks, we have startups, marketing, social media, financial management, business planning. The idea with these workshops is to help you understand as a business owner the things that you need to know, not exactly for you to do it yourself. So that's when the associations come in place, when you need to find that partner, when you need to find that person that you can rely on for your accounting, for doing other things for you, your business advisors like us, or your lawyers or attorneys. You have to rely on them, but that doesn't mean that you as a business owner doesn't need to know how do they work. So this is an invitation for you to take advantage of the workshops, because right now we do charge some of them and some of them are free, but right now the majority of them are free for you to take advantage of. Every day at 3 o'clock, there is an SBDC call with Orange County Partnership, where we answer anything that has to do with all these loans, PPPs and IDLs and all the other things that are going on. And on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we have the one in Spanish at noon, where we talk about those loans in Spanish, but we also help you with understanding a little bit about EDD unemployment, about what LA County also has to offer in loans and things like that. Next slide, please. Right now, the focus is on what we are doing in LA County. The governor talked about 4 stages, and LA County is talking about 5 stages. One of the stages starting hopefully tomorrow for a lot of them to accommodate with this COVID. So what we're trying to accommodate for tomorrow is to start with the florists, to start some retailers and toy business. The florist, when asked why them, is because they are the ones who brings a lot to the economy. And more now because of Mother's Day on Sunday, and because Mother's Day on Sunday is coinciding this year with the Mother's Day from Central America that celebrates it on May 10 only. So then it is really, really a big deal not to just pass it by. And the florist industry, that's why the county allowed them to reopen with a lot of measurements, of course. But the idea with this transition, and what we also want to do with our small business owners, is to help you get there sooner, get there with this new normal and new accommodations, like we all are calling it, the new normal, up to the stage that everybody can start working. But right now, we also don't want our small business owners just to be sitting saying, okay, I'll wait until they start opening this. We want you to be proactive and think and get out there the word that you are going to start. We need you to be in touch with your provider, with the suppliers, with your employees, with your clients. Be telling them what you're doing, what is it coming for you. Tell them in a video, tell them in a story, tell them in an email, but we need you to start having that contact so you don't lose the momentum with your business. The next slide, please. So these are the things that we invite you to recognize things that you have to do for your business. You have to have a bank account for those loans that you are getting in order for you to know how you're spending your money. Start communicating with all these suppliers and customers and employees. You need to let them know what's going on. You don't want them to just be in the blank, and then all of a sudden you call them as like, tomorrow we're starting. You don't want to do that. You want to be able to transition and to let them know what is going on. You need to redesign. If you have a front store, if you have a brick and mortar, you need to make sure that you're redesigning your layout and that you have signage that you're going to comply with the distancing, with the face mask, with the cleaning, with all these things that supposedly we should already have done for the longest time. But of course, right now is a more reminder that we need to. So that's what you need to do. Remember that maybe all your stock is not coming back, only some of them. Some of them already may be doing something else. So you need to be able to be ready to rehire some and to hire new ones. To hire new ones is not easy, so you need to be starting to do interviews to look for somebody else. So next slide, please. And I know I'm rushing a little bit, but it's just for the time, and I want to be mindful of the time and the other speakers that are still want to go. So that's why. And after this, we will give you my information so you can contact us, and then we can talk a little bit more like calmly about this. Remember about the opportunities and alternatives about going virtual, curbside pickup, the social media, deliveries. You don't need to use Postmate if you don't want. You don't need to use DoorDash. You can use your neighbor or your community person who is out of a job and that you know that it can help you with this delivery. So use the community around you and the people around you. And one of the things with the community is with USC, we have created a directory especially for that, where it's segmented by zones, where you can see other business owners and you can see who can you partner with and you can use support with. So let's do that. Take testimonials, do video tutorials, do a virtual tour, show them how you're cleaning your space, show them how you're going to transition little by little into getting into the business. And testimonials are really, really important right now, not only from your clients, but from your employees. We are asking you to have testimonials from your employees so they can tell you how amazing you are and how good your business is and why people can go to you. So that's things that we are also trying to encourage all of you to do it right now before you plan your grand reopening or things like that. Next slide, please. This is these are just some flyers or things that you can print out from the CDC, the Center for Disease, and you can download it from there, because you need to be ready with this. You need to have some floor signage about the distancing. So I will invite you to visit the CDC website where you can download all this and you can post them. You need to post them in order for you to ensure also me as a customer that I can feel like relief, or I can feel secure to go into your establishment. So they have a lot of little things that can help you. So that's why I put this one, because I think one of the things that we are still going to see in the near future is the face masks. Next, please. So with this, I just want to invite you all to call us if you need further information, to call us if you need any assistance. I have our Facebook page. The fan page is where we really post all the things that are happening, grants, IRS news, anything that is going on, new loans, new grants is in there. So I will invite you to visit us. And we have a lot of workshops coming, including one with the IRS, where we're talking about all the reliefs for taxes that we have for the small business owners. Thank you.
Well, Claudia, that was very, very good presentation. Thank you so much. And everybody knows where to contact you, that you are not only doing this in English, but you also have a lot of people that can access you that need Spanish training or Spanish advice, you know. Capacitación en español está disponible con el SBDC, con Claudia. Well,
Gracias.
And that leads us to the next speaker and the last speaker for today. And he's going to talk about market opportunities. You know, these panelists were all unique in their own way, but when talking about Salvador Ayala Jr., he's the único. What can we say, okay? So Sal is the CEO and president of Unico Enterprises, Inc., DBA Unico Media Group. Sal has a passion for his family and living life to the fullest. He has 3 children, a grandchild, and a beautiful wife. He loves horses, boats, and dirt bikes, basically outdoors. But right now, Sal is being very patient and staying at home because staying at home is safe, you know. He's the youngest in a family of 5 sisters. Can you imagine that? He was brought to the United States at the age of 5, and he was quick to learn that hard work and perseverance pay off. Sal believes any business should have the same core values as a family, and entrepreneurs must find a healthy balance between the two. He became an entrepreneur in 1996 when he opened his first insurance brokerage. He has owned and sold insurance brokerages and has owned all state agencies for 7 years of his career. In addition, he has also started multiple companies, from a real estate and mortgage brokerages to a construction company. In 2003, he franchised his business model, combining insurance, mortgage, and real estate. While building the franchise and becoming very involved in the technology and marketing sides of the franchise, Sal discovered his real passion for digital marketing and the relation between marketing and technology. He then decided to offer these services outside his franchise to other businesses, starting Unico Enterprises, Inc., DBA Unico Media Group, and Unico MMP. His entrepreneurial spirit comes in large part from listening to his sisters talk about finding ways to supplement the family's income, from selling clothes at the swap meet to prepare taxes for friends and family members at the kitchen table, until finally being able to open their insurance company and tax office. To this day, Sal still owns an insurance agency, is thriving in the online digital marketing world, and loves helping new entrepreneurs energize their ideas, as well as helping entrepreneurs grow their business to the next level. On a different note, and this is my note, Sal has served on several nonprofit boards to help his community and advocate on behalf of small business. Sal currently sits on the board as the director of the California Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and is always looking for ways to give back to his community. Today's webinar is an example of Sal's extraordinary way of digital networking with AME, Angelina News, Mundo Maya, U.S.-Mexico Chamber of Commerce, SBDC, Cleaning, CM Cleaning, and all of the presenters today. And kudos to our own Carla Silva for bringing Sal to us. And here is Sal with you.
Thank you so much for that kind introduction, Sarita. I appreciate you. And thank you all for joining us today. So I'm gonna be a little bit quick, but I want to hit on some points that have already been talked about throughout the presentation. So let's just go ahead and get started. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about e-commerce and media buys. Okay, I kind of jumped the gun. So I'm going to do a little icebreaker joke here. Hopefully not everybody, you won't take any offense to this. It's a little, I think it's funny. So e-commerce is kind of like teenage sex. Everybody wants to do it. Nobody knows how to do it. And after you've done it, you're disappointed it wasn't better, right? So that's my interpretation of how people do e-commerce. I want to get online. And then they do it, and it wasn't what it was. It wasn't what it was told out it was going to be, right? So anyway, that wasn't my joke. I took it from that gentleman there. So taking your offline business to an e-commerce business. So I'm going to talk a little bit about web design and e-commerce. I won't get too far into it, but just kind of high level overview, as well as social media benefits and general organic and paid media buys, okay? So cost analysis. So, it's important that I think a couple of us here on the panel talked about, doing a cost analysis, physical versus online savings, right? And outsourcing. I'll be touching a little bit upon those, but I think it's important you analyze your business before you even consider taking it on. Like Vero was saying earlier, her business is not necessarily going to be able to go jump online and start, doing e-commerce, but she can go online and grab more business, right? Attract more people to her business and refer business and put together a referral marketing program, right? So one of the things that we do is we have a marketing affiliate program. I'm from the old school, right? My parents taught me if somebody gives you something, you make sure you pay them back in some way, right? So you give me a lead, I give you that. So we created a marketing affiliate program that we kind of implement with our clients as well. So I have a lot of business owner clients. When I plug them together, I see that it makes sense. I refer the business out, right? So that was a very good point by Vero. So create an online marketing plan. All right, first and foremost, before you even, start going online, I don't want, kind of going back to my joke, I don't want you to be disappointed, right? I want you to make sure you have a plan, right? And with having a plan, the first thing you have to do is have a budget, right? A lot of people will sit down with me and they have $50 they want to spend a month and they want all this stuff, right? So a lot of the times what I have to do is just be very realistic with them. Like, that budget isn't going to work for what you're going to do. You might have to go back to the drawing board and figure out your finances before you can really have a robust online presence, right? But budget is first. Within that budget, the very first thing you have to establish is infrastructure, right? You want to make sure you have the correct infrastructure for what you're going to do. It's just like building a building or a house. You can't build a massive house with 100 stories or 2 stories, whatever, without having the correct foundation and infrastructure. Next is advertising. You got to make sure you have money to advertise online. Facebook and all these other resources, they're free to an extent, but it used to be really free when it first started back 10 years ago. Now, if you put a post online, it'll drown. It'll drown because of all the other posts that come in. So you really have to have a budget to advertise. That doesn't have to be so much. You can start with a small budget, $50, $100, $200 a month. I remember back in the days, we used to do all the little, newspapers and the yellow pages. We would spend $300 a week and not think anything of it. And now people are $300 a month, really, for advertising. It's a lot. No, it's not. It's really actually still pretty reasonable, right? So you might want to consider that. Target audience, right? You want to make sure part of your marketing plan, you have a target audience. You understand who your client is, who you're talking to. A lot of times, when we're doing logo design for our clients, our clients say, no, I want my logo to have this and this and this. And it's all about them. It's all about, I like this because it makes me feel good. And well, no, it's not about you. It's about who your client is. How are you going to get them to be interested in you? What is that message that you're going to be putting out going to say to them? And how is that going to interest them to call you? Or what is that emotion, right? A sale is an emotional thing, right? So you want to make sure that when you're promoting to your audience, you're doing it in the right way. So target audience is important. Promotions, when you get ready to promote, there's a cycle that has to happen. First, your branding has to be correct. Then your online presence, your infrastructure has to be correct. Then you'll be ready for promoting, okay? So I always try to help my clients by making sure we maximize their marketing dollars. The worst thing I can do is take my clients' money and just worry about my pocketbook and then not give any return on investment, right? Because if that happens, I lose my client. I'm very fortunate. We have a lot of, retaining clients because we're high on service level. Our mission statement says, provide an exceptional client experience, right? And in reality, that's what makes us different from other businesses. Are you exceptional at what you do? Are you providing an exceptional client experience to your client? You should be, right? The other thing that you do when you're targeting your audience is your marketing channel, right? Not everything is the right thing for everybody. So some businesses might want to market on Facebook because that's probably the best, that's where their audience is, right? So you want to fish where the fish are. You don't want to go fish in a dry pond. You want to fish where you're going to be able to find your clients, okay? We'll jump to the next slide. Analyze your product offering, right? So this is more of the implementation side of it. Make sure you analyze what your product is, right? Like Beto was saying, she's got a cleaning business. She can't clean remotely. Maybe you can do a video chat and show them how to do it possibly, but that might not work. But Beto, you can go online and try to get more clients to come to you, right? And I'm definitely a big proponent of the marketing affiliate opportunity to refer business. I'm all about that. Identify how you will deliver your product or service. A lot of, real quick on that. In 2008, I closed my real estate and mortgage brokerage because I saw the opportunity that we had with digital and online marketing. This company we started back in 2003. So I shifted all my energies to online, and I saved a ton of money, right? I saved a lot of money. I shut down an office that I had. It was a 3,500 square foot office. I had 10 employees, 17 realtors, and it was just a big operation. And at the end of the day, I was working for them. They weren't working for me. And so I became very lean and mean with my operation. So everything went online. So, I've been doing this for a minute. This whole thing with the online meetings and all that, I'm a Ring Central reseller because I bought the product and I loved it so much thought I said, man, I want other people to have it. So I've been selling Ring Central since 2008, right? And the thing is, I'm thankful for this whole, you know, I didn't put it in this slide, but I've always said, you know, take advantage of the opportunities that COVID brings to you. Don't be opportunistic, right? Don't be an opportunist. Don't take advantage of people. Don't sell masks for $50, right? Make a profit, but be reasonable. And so take advantage of what we have in front of us, right? So at the end of the day, all this technology and all these people that are going online now and learning how to use Zoom, that's just made my job easier. Now I'm going to be able to access these people a lot faster because they know how to log in. And I don't have to be training them on how to do it. So that's an opportunity for me. So create your sales cycle as well as your ongoing support. So what I mean by that is, you know, right now your sales cycle might be somebody walks into your establishment, they buy a product, you hand them the product, they walk out and you've delivered it, right? If you're going to go online, you have to do the same thing, but the logistics behind it change, right? They're going to go on the shopping cart, they're going to buy it, you're going to get an order in your email, and now you got to worry about that. So think all that through before you go and start getting, you know, online. You know, I'm going to talk about different areas, different ways that you can actually create your online presence, and I will touch on a few other things as well. Do it yourself or hire a pro. You know, I'm going to be a little biased on this. You know, you can do it yourself. You have to make sure you have the proper skill set and the amount of time. Time is money, right? Time is money. If you want to turn yourself into a software developer or learning how to build a website, graphic designer and all that, it might not be worth it. You might be spinning your wheels. Then if you hire a professional to do it, they're going to do it right the first time, and you will get a return on investment a lot faster, right? So make sure you don't, you know, a lot of the companies, you know, GoDaddy, Shopify, there's a lot of platforms out there that are very inexpensive and that are free. But once you get to a certain level, they're going to start telling you, hey, listen, you got to call me if you want to be able to do that, right? So you don't know how to do something, you call them. Yeah, for that, you're going to have to get the next level up package and so on. So they'll nickel and dime you eventually. Nothing is free in this world, right? It's all about perceived value. Make sure you're delivering the right value. So again, consider that. I'm not saying that those online platforms aren't for everybody, right? I mean, there's some opportunities there for the people that are, you know, further along in their technology and so on. That could work for you. I'm not discrediting that. It is an opportunity, but just think about that before you decide. So also be cognizant of your online image, right? Be careful with what's online. Be careful. We've all had some posts that we probably didn't want online. So be careful with that. It happens, but be careful with your online presence. It's important. You know, in my opinion, as a community leader, I consider myself, and as a business owner, more importantly, you are a public figure. You're like a politician, right? You know, sometimes before I do business with somebody, I'll go look them up on Facebook. I'll say, all right, what's these guys all about, right? Do a little research on them. And now it's pretty simple, man. You just type in somebody's name in Google and you'll find out a lot of information on that person. So be careful, right? Be careful. Take care of your clients. Your layout, the way you lay out your website is very important, right? Very important to making sure that you have the correct user experience on there. So when they get on the website, they're able to find what they need. They can click 2-3 buttons and they're out, right? It doesn't take them 5 clicks to purchase a product from you. So again, your messaging is important. The way you lay out your website is important. So again, and then lastly, call to action. Make sure you get them to your site and then you put enough call to action that's going to grab their attention, something that just grabs them and say, hey, buy something from me, right? So again, that's important when you're looking at web design on e-commerce, okay? So I'm going to give you guys some mind-blowing statistics, right? Digital marketing is just a transit trend. It's not, right? It's here to stay. Digital marketing is free. No, it's not free. There is a cost associated to it. Simply, your time is money, right? So it is not free, you know? And to me, it's quality of life. Some people will stay up to 3 o'clock in the morning doing their post, but, you know, throughout the day, they're not sleeping. They're not, you know, so balance your life out, man. Take that into consideration. So social media doesn't work to sell. Of course it does. Social media is there it has all kinds of tools for you to be able to sell. So we're, again, doing some myth busting. Digital marketing doesn't need any effort. Absolutely does. A lot of effort. Social media is just for the young people. No, it's not. Look at me. I'm old and I'm using social media. Social media is just for young people. All right. So more followers equals more success. the right followers equals more success. A lot of people think that, hey, I'm gonna buy likes and I'm that, social media, Facebook and all social media platforms frown upon that. So not necessarily you want to have the right followers. You want to make sure your target audience is following you, right? Influencers, possibly the right influencers at that. So you can buy followers. You really can't. That's really not how platforms are meant to be performing. People do it, but it's really just a waste of money and time, in my opinion. You must be in every social media platform. That is also a myth. That is false. There is a social media platform for every kind of content, but there isn't a type of content for every social media platform. What does that mean? Certain platforms are going to cater to a certain audience, right? If you're going B2B, you're looking for business owners. Yeah, you might want to use LinkedIn. You probably don't want to use, if you're looking for, retail, more of the services that are going to relate to the end buyer, then probably so you're looking at Instagram or Facebook. So be careful, again, going back to your target audience and the channels that work for you. Google is the only reliable tool. Google is God. Pretty close to God, but not quite. There's a lot of other options that are out there. It's very helpful, very useful, but they're not God. So social media, actually I have an appointment with Google. I'm not going to show them that slide. So social media doesn't guarantee return on investment. It's pretty close to guaranteeing return on investment, because if you do it right, you can really target your audience and really get a good return on investment. Okay. So I promised I was going to be fast. And then these are just things that make you go, right? Arsenio Hall. I don't know if you guys know who Arsenio Hall is, but kind of dates me a little bit. 20% of the daily Google searches didn't exist the previous day. That's pretty crazy. 82% of consumers' internet traffic will be video by 2021. So again, video is king. When I have these webinars, I love to have the video on. I don't like when people don't turn their video on, because I feel like either they're ignoring me doing something else, or I'm just talking to myself. So I like video. And video, people are lazy. I'm lazy. I'd rather see a quick snippet of whatever you're offering and get my attention. It's more lively, it's more interactive. So make sure you have a video strategy within your marketing strategy. So influencer marketing is a $1 billion industry only on Instagram. So it's huge. Influencer marketing is huge. The average consumer's attention span is 8 seconds. So get to the point, especially business owners. We don't like to waste our time. So if you're calling me, you better get my attention within 8 seconds. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to the next page. 75% of total marketing budget in the world will go to digital marketing. That is huge, right? So that tells you where you should be. Content with relevant images get 94% more views, right? So make sure your content that you're putting out is relevant to whatever the current trend is, or whatever's trending, whatever you're trying to address, right? 4 times as many consumers would rather watch a video than read or learn about a product, right? It goes back to video. 84% of people expect brands to create content, right? So what does that mean? That means that you need to be the authority of your industry, right? You need to be who they need to talk to if they want to be successful for whatever it is that you're offering as a product. So 41% of clicks go to the top 3 paid ads in the Google search results. So again, you want to make sure you are putting some money to advertising. It is a cost, guys. And my pet peeve is when I go see a client and I ask them, what's your budget? And they tell me they don't have a budget. And I go out in the parking lot and they're driving a freaking Mercedes-Benz or BMW, and they drink Starbucks every freaking day, but they don't have a budget to advertise and market their business. Are you kidding me? Really? When I sold the life insurance, I used to ask the question, do you drink beer? How many 12 packs do you drink a week? Right? So you find the money very easily, right? So find the money and do some paid advertising, because it works. Search engines drive 93% of all traffic. 93%, right? Almost 100% of whatever traffic goes to a website is driven by a search engine. So just things that make you go, So choose the right platform. Again, we already talked about that, organic versus paid, right? So we'll talk a little bit about that here in a second. Choosing the right platform, I've kind of already touched on that. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Make sure you know who your audience is. It goes back to your proper planning. Make sure your marketing plan is on point before you start spending any money. Make sure you have your infrastructure before you start spending any money on promoting your product or service. Create a community. So if you're going to do this organically, you want to create a community, engage with clients, customers, and friends, right? Again, you can't buy likes. It's not real. Get other people that know you. You know, don't be shy to tell people, hey, I own a business, help me out. More than likely, people are willing to help you grow your business. They want to see you success for the most part, right? Content, make sure it's valuable, right? Make sure your content is not junk. Make sure it's valuable. Take the time to write the correct content. Give tips, have awards, you know, do giveaways and stuff like that. Get people, you know, to engage, right? So that's what engagement is all about. So use it as a communication tool. Your clients are online. Your clients are on social media. So reach out to them via that platform. That's how they like to be reached out to now. You know, text messaging is another form, but I'm seeing a lot of the communication is trending towards social media communication. So I think it's important to do that. Paid. If you're going to spend money, make sure you define a budget, right? Reach outside your community, right? What happens is when you're doing paid advertising, it's no longer just the people that are following you organically. Now you're reaching out to a bigger audience, to other people that are not within your community that will eventually become part of your community. They will start engaging with you, right? So increase engagement, right? So again, it just increases your engagement. People will see you more. They're going to engage with you more. It's going to turn into more leads going into your website as well. Targeted audience. You can like laser focus your client when you're doing paid advertising, right? You can really figure out what area you want, how much you're willing to spend, and it really gives you a big return on investment. That's why I said it's close to 100% if you do it right, if you know what you're doing, right? If you hire a professional. So call to action, make sure you give them a reason to call you. Okay, that's also very important. And then finally, that was pretty much my last slide. Try to be quick about it. Let everybody do their own presentation as well. So thank you very much for joining us. I'm very proud to be a partner of AME. I think we have a good future ahead of us with all the other panelists as well, with Marlene and Sarita. We're excited to be in partnership with you guys, and obviously my colleague Vero as a director, and Claudia will be sending you some business as well. So thank you everybody for joining us, and I hope this information was of value to you.
Well, that was excellent. Thank you so much, Sal. And are we going to the Q&A right now? You know, we had a couple of questions.
Yes.
We have a couple of questions from Hector Sanchez. He's with OutbreakBusters.com. And he basically says, ¿cómo puedo crear una alianza estratégica? Poseo tecnología que elimina patógenos en el aire. Esto presta un excelente servicio en medio de esta pandemia. Do we need to translate that? So it's how do I create an alliance? Strategic alliance. I have technology that eliminates pathogens in the air. And this is an excellent service that we can provide with this pandemia. So who wants to answer that of our panelists? Veronica, you want to take that? Is Veronica with us?
Sure, I'd be happy to. I want to know more about this. Please send me some information. Please send me some information on that and see where I can help you and connect you to other companies too. And to some of our customers, I think it'd be great.
And this is not a question, but we have Luis that says, thank you all for the insights. I'm a preacher for creating a list of clients and keep them engaged. Now more than ever, all businesses should have a list. And then I also have a question for Veronica. Veronica, when we're talking about cleaning, can anyone in the cleaning industry guarantee that there's no virus after people do the so-called COVID-19 cleaning?
No, sorry, we cannot guarantee that, because we try to get as much as everything. But you have to understand, we could have cleaned. We can come in with the machine that, we have to come in with a hazmat and disinfect every single corner of your office. But once people start stepping in, I don't know where those people have been, and you don't know what they're bringing with them. So there is no guarantees. I do apologize. No, all we could do is keep it clean.
Thank you. And we're going to go back to Hector Sanchez, outbreakbusters.com question of creating strategic alliances. Sal, would you like to answer that, please?
Creating strategic alliances. Well, you know, what I would say is reach out to the different communities or the different vendors that are within your community, right? Different people that are, like I said, people that are the content writers of whatever it is that you're doing, right? So, for example, you know, engage with different chambers of commerce, right? There's a lot of people there that can become strategic partners for you. Become the authority. Look for the authorities in your business, right? So if you're an insurance agent, you know, I would connect with the different organizations that have events for insurance agents. I mean, there's just so many ways you can network. I mean, I'm a big proponent of networking. Obviously, we support our chambers and they do a great job in helping connect different business owners and creating those alliances. You'd be amazed at the level of connections that you can make, especially if you come to any of our affiliate chambers events, or even our main event convention that hopefully we're still going to have on. But yeah, those events I think are going to be the best way to find the strategic alliances that you're looking for.
Thank you, Sal. And we have Clemencia Carroll that basically just says, thank you, it was such a great panel. Clemencia Carroll is one of the chicas of the LA Angelina News, and she's going to be handling the Long Beach and the Colombia, the areas for our content and also sponsorship. And we have Luis that says, this is for Sal. I'd like to connect with you and see how we can help each other.
Absolutely.
Jorge Rabasso, this question is for Claudia. Are the SBA loans for entrepreneurs for 10,000 available now?
No, unfortunately, no, Jorge. They closed the portal. It's already like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and they haven't opened it. The one that is still on is the PPP program. So if you want to reach out to us to see what else can we provide you, other alternatives that you can apply for, I'll be more than happy to assist you. But yeah, not that.
Thank you for asking, Jorge. And at the beginning of the program, we also had Mario Alberto Huitron, and Mario Alberto Huitron is with Sabor Network, and he's a member of AME, and he also sends his saludos. Gracias, Mario Alberto Huitron. And then one question that is coming up is that social distance versus physical distance. You know, some people don't like the word social distance because it kind of creates stopping to be socially engaged with each other, versus what we need to observe is physical distance. Mario, do you want to do that? You want to respond to that? Oh, Mario's off. Anybody wants to take this question?
Oh, sorry. I this is a great, double confusion because Mario Huitron is a tocayo, doble tocayo, because his name is Mario Alberto, and I am also Mario Alberto.
Okay.
So, can you repeat the question?
Oh, basically it's just some people don't like calling social distance anymore because it takes away from the social aspect of people getting together, and then they want to basically says, let's stick with physical distance.
Well, no, I agree. I mean, this is something that we really have to get used to, and I hope that it's not the new norm, and if it is, it's only temporary, because I hate it. To be honest with you, I like to shake hands, hug and kiss everybody, and not being able to do that, I feel handicapped. So yeah, no, the social distance might be a necessary evil right now, but I hope it goes away very soon. So I don't know if I'm answering your question or not, but that's how I feel about it.
And that's what I try to do. I try to do in our conversations. I try to tell them, and this is a physical distancing. Right now, we are being social. We are socializing
Yes.
among each other and with all of you as attendees and all of
Correct.
us as panelists. We're trying to still be social, and we don't want to stop that because then we are going to really have a mental problem here if we have to distance as a social too. So yeah. No, physical
Well, thank you. We're close to the end of our program, to our 90-minute program, and we're keeping on schedule. So our next presenter, the one that is going to talk for a few minutes, is Carla.
Yes.
And Carla, congratulations, because Carla is an excellent expert in finances. You know, if you guys have any dinerito out there that you want to invest, Carla Silva is the best person in financing and investment. And Carla Silva is also with Monarch Strategic Alliances. Adelante, Carla. And bueno, needless to say, my co-partner with Ele Angelina News and on the board of directors of Mundo Maya Foundation. Adelante, Carla.
Pues primero que nada, well, first of all, thank you to all the panelists. Amazing information. You know, you all are successful entrepreneurs, incredible community leaders, and great friends. So I appreciate you for coming to our first event. I am the co-founder with Mario of the Alliance of Multicultural Entrepreneurs, and it really started as a networking group where we wanted to do the introductions and help be a platform for business and for new businesses to start. And just like we're saying right now about the social distance, and we need to keep connected. If now we have to do it via webinars and Zoom meetings, we have to adapt, and also just continue educating and shifting into seeing the opportunities that as all of you shared today. There's plenty of opportunities, plenty of things to learn and adapt and teach. And I really, really appreciate all the information and the time that you put in, bringing this information. You're going to have all the information from all the panelists. So each one in their own platform and their own, chambers of commerce and, SBDC, they have, other webinars that they go more in detail in. It can be in trade or business, all the support and all the programs that SBA offers. Veronica talked about the janitorial services today and, focus more on that, but she wears multiple hats depending on, with the organizations that she's part of and is being, to grow. And I guess we have all, something in common. And, also thank you to Sal and his team, amazing team. And, when we decided, we had programmed for AME to have an in-person networking and pitch event, which was happening, May 7th today. And when we saw that this is, the pandemic was going to be even, taking longer for us to be able to have the event in person, we decided to make it virtual. And I reached out to Sal and really open arms, start strategizing and, brainstorming. And, we're here. So I think we believe in collaborating, in building these strategic alliances. AME started 10 years ago, but those relationships that we built, and it's just like planting seeds. And through this, so many years, we keep watering. And if it wasn't that constant all the time, we kept in contact with people, and whenever we had the opportunity, we went to the events and supported them and share their content online, because sometimes a positive comment can go a long way. Claudia mentioned about the testimonials and asking testimonials from our customers, our employees. It's different when I talk about myself than when somebody says something, positive or negative about me. So, that's something that is free for us, but it's very valuable for others. So, I hope that everybody stays safe, stay connected, and, keep learning, because this is a moving target. We don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring, but hopefully we'll see you in an in-person or event to shake hands and celebrate that we're still here. Thank you, Sarita. I've been collaborating with organizations like Mundo Maya Foundation, and now with Lea Angelina, because we believe, first of all, Mundo Maya is turning 20 years. It's been a long time. She says, there's a new chica town, but it's also is not something new. Mundo Maya has done many events and operations, and it's just a work of love, promoting education, art, cultures, and what we want for people that live on this side of the border is want to keep the heritage, our traditions, and this is what we pass to other generations. And now we're Angelinos, and we're building an amazing community here. And where we want to give back, we want to reach out. Through Marlene's events, the U.S. Mexico Chamber, I have done amazing, building alliances with business owners in Mexico. Hopefully, we can have something about investment, which is my focus right now in my business. And I see the importance of financial education and having money work for us. And after this pandemic, I hope that everybody really puts the effort to have different sources of income, because now we know we cannot just be depending on one. That job can be gone, and we want to make sure that we diversify. So thank you very much. Mother's Day is coming, so happy Mother's Day, and hopefully to see you soon in the next in-person or virtual event.
And thank you, Carlita. Thank you so much for everybody. Marlene Marroquín, Claudia Shah, Veronica Corona, Salayala Ironico, definitely. Mario Romame, thank you so much. Everyone that was listening, that tuned in to watch this great presentation. Thank you so much. And let's continue to be the change that we want to see in this world, as Mahatma Gandhi has said. Yes, we will survive, and let's find for more opportunities to succeed in these days.
Thank you so much.
Gracias.
Everybody have an amazing day.
Bye-bye.